This is Amy Temperley with A Mighty Good Time, back with another wonderful conversation with one of our event hosts that you can find on our site. I'm really excited today. We have a very special guest. We have Farida Ali with Mirthy, and Mirthy is our first program outside of the United States. So they're a UK-based group, and I wanted to show you, I have my London mug for you this morning. I know you're not in London, but or my English bus mug, shall I say, in your honor this morning. But we're really excited to have you and learn about your programs. So tell us a little bit about Mirthy and who you are and what your mission is, why you got started.
Excellent. Well, lovely to meet you too, Amy, as well. And we're just as excited to be a part of your journey as well. I think we see huge scope between the collaboration between ourselves and yourselves. So Mirthy, I mean, let me introduce myself. So obviously I'm Farida, and I look after the partnership side of things in Mirthy. And I'm still a fairly new employee at Mirthy, as are probably the large majority. We've only really just started to increase our number of employees this year. So we've grown quite rapidly. We've gone from about 3 employees last year to about 10 this year. So yeah, rapid growth. So Mirthy, and I don't know if anybody actually is going to ask you, what does the name mean? Where does it come from? So Mirthy, the word mirth means joy and laughter. And I suspect it probably has the same degree of resonance in the States as well. I know we sometimes have a little variation between the English language and the American version of it. And then it's simply just got a Y on the end of it, and that's it. This is Mirthy. So yeah, we were launched in 2020. We're a rapidly growing social enterprise, and our mission is very much about serving the over 50s. We offer a huge array of events, and we have a massive content library as well now, with an array of articles and guides. And really the aim is very much about connecting people, particularly once people have time on their hands, once they've left full-time work, aiming to connect people through events, through activities, giving people the opportunity to try new things and share new experiences, and vitally make social connections. Because Mirthy really was born out of both of our co-founders' experience themselves with their parents when they retired. And what they actually found was that suddenly, you know, without any kind of social structure to their day due to work, their parents suddenly had a huge amount of free time on their hands, but it was very much inactive time and very much in isolation. And their social circles had decreased rapidly. So this was kind of the intention, I think, behind both of the co-founders, Dhruv and Alex, to try and rectify this for their parents, but just as millions of other people within that age group. Because I think a lot of people, when we talk about the older age group, and certainly in the UK, you know, they're often seen and often spoken about. The narrative is always about, you know, a burden on the health service. But actually at Mirthy, we see a huge, you know, a generation that's, you know, full of people with amazing talent, skills, experiences, knowledge to share, and a huge desire for life. And these people have vast amounts of time on their hands as well. So, you know, we see them as being a really, really active member of society with so much more to give. And really for us, you know, getting people to try new activities and experiences, I think, is the first tentative steps to making and building those social connections.
Yeah, and I love your reference to social connections too, because part of why we're excited, you know, obviously we're thrilled to connect with people in a different area of the world, but to connect people here in the US with international friends. I mean, what an opportunity to learn a new culture, to be exposed to other things and other perspectives, and how, as we get older, learning is such a big piece of the puzzle. And, you know, for a lot of us right now who don't want to travel or can't travel, to be exposed to other people and connect in that way is really exciting.
Absolutely. I mean, like you say, really, just because, you know, obviously the pandemic has put so much of a restriction in terms of what you can and cannot do. But as far as we're concerned, really, you know, technology opens up your world to a huge array of possibilities. So like you say, you know, there are people that would have loved to have traveled, gone to places, would have made plans, But there's nothing stopping you. We offer a huge array of travel events. We've got people that have actually been to some amazing places, and the presentations that they're doing, and people are saying, gosh, it makes me feel like I'm right back there again. So you can explore the world, from your home, the comfort of your home, go to the places that you want to travel to, try the new experiences, learn the new languages, absolutely everything is still, possible. And that's the message that we want to very much get across to this sort of demographic, really, that technology is there to open up your world, not restrict your world. And I think the pandemic has done them a bit of a favor, some reluctantly, but nevertheless, people have come on board with the technology and are not frightened by it. And I've suddenly seen the endless opportunities with it.
Yeah. And you and I were talking about just a little bit before we got on camera about how when you're moving into a new year and you're really starting to look at the opportunities and how hopeful it can be. And this is a great time of year to start thinking about, what do I want to learn? Who do I want to be? What do I want to explore? And with programs like Mirthy, there are so many more opportunities to do that.
Definitely, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the start of the year, I think, whether it's young or older, we all have our goals, be that health and fitness or things that like you say, you want to achieve this year. And certainly that extends out to, the older demographic as well. And like you say, it's starting with the baby steps, before you kind of go out to the actual, country you want to go and visit or the language that you want to learn. You try something from your comfort of your own home. You've got an opportunity to learn a little bit and then actually go out and experience it, full hand as well, really. So yeah, I think it's just a huge opportunity, really, as far as we're concerned, really, for allowing people to feel empowered, but to be entertained. And really, we're all about curiosity. Indulge your curiosity, look at what's out there. The world is not as as small as the four walls of your home. You have got scope to experience and see so much more. So yeah, definitely take advantage of it. Use the start of the new year to think, yeah, this is what I'd love to go and do. So yeah, I'll start by perhaps having a little go at learning the language or seeing a foreign place or learning about London. And then perhaps in a few months' time, once restrictions have opened up a little bit more, I can confidently come to London and say, yeah, I know all about this area. I know all about this street because I've heard it all through Mirthy.
That's fantastic. What are you're a very positive person. What are you excited about in your own aging process?
Well, do you know, the funny thing is, Amy, we look at our employees at Mirthy, and I would say that the vast majority of us are far removed from retirement as yet. But there's the odd couple of us, including myself, that are not so millions of years away from retirement. And I have to say, it's a really interesting one, because I think of myself in those terms. Gosh, it won't be that long before I retire, and I actually have huge amounts of energy and huge interest in learning. My innate, I think, desire is always to learn. I don't think you can ever stop learning, and it's simply a question of what ignites your desires, what ignites your passions, and of course that changes as you get older. So actually learning languages is something that is still there, and and I've had the opportunity to learn a fair few in my younger days, and would certainly love to carry on and learn and certainly continue with Arabic. That's one of the more harder languages, but also Italian is another one that I started and would love to pick up again. And travel, I think, is something that I think we've all just been so restricted. I think we've all got itchy feet, and so I'm really desperate to kind of get out there and travel a little bit more this year. Absolutely.
I love the learning languages piece. I mean, it's so good for your brain, among other things. And I'm terrible at it. Languages have always been hard for me, but I am impressed by those that actually can learn a variety. And the more you learn, the more the root words help you learn the next one.
Totally. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm very competent at any of them, but hey ho, the desire is still there. And I think, that's half the battle. If you're interested in something, you'll put the effort into it, won't you? And it's not the end goal, which is that I've got to become so proficient at this language. It's the experience, the process as you go along. That's all part of the fun, and enjoyment, really.
Exactly. It's the joy of the learning, and you don't have to be the best at it. It's kind of that experience. What kinds of programs are you looking at in the future for Mirthy? Are there new things coming or things you want to highlight for us?
Yeah, no, definitely. So, our aim, we've started off very much in terms of events. And so, we've actually achieved masses really just in the last year, because we've gone from having 8 events a month to more than 60 plus events that we now host. And that's everything from well-being and fitness to educational lectures to arts and craft workshops. We've now moved on to an online book club as well. One of our hopes definitely moving forward is to certainly build on the social connection side of things. So we've built up an array of activities, which is very much about building community. So we've got things like, crosswords and coffee mornings and technology sort of get-togethers. We have an ambassador scheme. We have a Facebook group and things that are moderated by Mirthy. And we're always trying to engage our audience, to connect, to engage, and to get to know one another a little bit. But certainly we have ambitious plans. We're looking to also move out from the online space into the offline world as well. Mirthy's original premise was to actually use underutilized spaces in retirement homes and very much get people and communities together face to face. So that's something that we still have on the cards. And very much in terms of our growth, we're also looking to start building on in terms of products that we'd like to add to our platform, things that are of interest and relevance to this community, because ultimately our aim is very much to become a one-stop shop for this older demographic. So, you're interested in finding out about a particular event, you come to the platform. You're interested in a savings product that's far more tailored to you, the over 50s, you come to the platform. You want to learn about a condition, you come to our platform, we signpost you, because it then becomes a trusted platform, a trusted resource for you. So that's very much our ambition. I mean, we've already hit a milestone. I think it was only just today. We've got more than now 200,000 people registering for our event, and that's within just the space of 18 months or so. Even just in terms of events, we've gone from about 343 that we ran in 2020. We're now running close to about 700 events over the year, and so it's our growth has been tremendous. And the really nice thing is that whilst we know we've grown, we know we're having an impact, I think it's always nice when you're recognized for it as well. And so actually only about a week ago we had some PR in a particular website that looks at social impact startups, and we've been named as one of the 10 EU social startups to watch in 2022 and beyond. So that was really lovely, just to appreciate that there is recognition out there in terms of the kind of positive changes that we're trying to address, and obviously being recognised for it is lovely as well.
Congratulations, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm excited to hear about your movement into in-person activities as well, because that's one of the things we're hearing through our platform is, when are there going to be events near me? And of course, the pandemic has caused a lot of problems in that space, but we're hoping that 2022 is the year that the doors start opening a little bit and that we can see more of that. So that would be great. We'd love to spread the word about those as well.
Excellent.
Tell me how people can access your programs. Is it a fee base? Can they test it out? How does that work?
Yeah, so basically we offer, it's a 30 days free access. So anybody can access the website. You come in and you create an account, which is free of charge. And then that will automatically give you 30 days access to all and every event that's on that platform. And so within those 30 days, we would say, try lots of different activities, because it's only once you've tried something that you think, oh, actually, I was really interested and intrigued by that. And then hope that would encourage you to consider, perhaps progressing in it, be it a language, be it an event, be it an arts and craft workshop, whatever it may be. So 30 days free access is available to all and every one of our users. And it's such an easy platform. I mean, technology that we use is Zoom, so you can access those events, whether it's on your laptop, your phone, your tablet. All you need is just Zoom and an internet connection. And with every one of our events, the really, really nice thing is that we have a personal touch. We don't just allow the host to simply present the topic, whatever it might be for that event. All of our events are moderated and hosted by a Mirthy employee. So it's usually a really lovely lady called Abby, who's our community events manager. So with every event, she would be introducing the event. She would be there in case there's any technology issues, you know, either with the host or with anybody that's registered for the event, and then the host would normally take over. Each of our events are designed to be about 45 minutes long, and there's usually about 15 minutes for Q&A at the end as well. So it's not just a static presentation, it's usually quite engaging towards the end, and we would always encourage interactivity with the audience and certainly with the host. And the really nice thing that we've actually just introduced, again, it's not been that long, partially because we do have an international audience. So whilst we're very much UK based, we have about 20% of our users that come from America, Canada, Australia. And of course, our time differences are a little bit out of sync. So, you know, sometimes, you know, we'll be having events in the morning when they're probably fast asleep at night. So, and we've had feedback from our users as well, particularly where they've wanted to register for more than one event. So we now offer a 7-day replay for each event, except for, I think it's just some of the coffee mornings or some of the community-based kind of events. But all of our other events, they have a 7-day replay. So register to your heart's content, you know, see what events interest you. As long as you're registered for the event, you will be sent an email with the replay link, so you can then watch that at your leisure.
That's fantastic. And that's a really nice feature, especially with the time zone difference. If people want to access that, that's really helpful. So final question, do you have any advice to our listeners on how to live active, engaged lives? What's your tip of the day?
Tip of the day, I would say, do you know what? Grasp every opportunity that comes your way. And do you know what? Technology is now encroaching every aspect of our life, you know, whether we like it or not. And certainly if I go by the feedback that we've had from a lot of our user bases that came from retired associations, one of the concerns has always been around the technology. But like one of the users has said, I think it's some amazing feedback that, you know, even the Muppets of us, you know, could cope with the technology. It's really nothing to be scared of. So seize it with both hands. Who knows, you know, you might make some fantastic friends from across the pond in the UK, and that one connection might lead to some very interesting paths, you know. Could be something permanent, or it could be just at least a lovely friendship that, you know, you've got someone, you know, over the pond to engage with, you know, for however many years of your retirement, you know. So I just think it's a brilliant opportunity.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So this has been Farida Ali with Mirthy. We're so thrilled to have you as part of the platform. For our followers, please go to amightygoodtime.com. You can always find it. If you custom search, you can actually search for Mirthy, M-I-R-T-H-Y, and it will give you a full listing of their programs. We'll be highlighting them through social media as well. And thank you again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me, Amy, today. And I really look forward to seeing so many of our American users come on board and take part in Mirthy's platform events.
Thank you.